4 NFL offenses that you should stay away from when drafting in your 2025 fantasy football leagues. We'll start out with the New Orleans Saints. Offensive line, definitely not great. Not bottom of the barrel, but definitely not a great offensive line. That's where the problems start. And then quarterback, Tyler Shuck. Seems like he played 17 years in college, one of the older quarterbacks coming in. But that said, this is going to be a big jump in class for a player, Tyler Shuck, that was a man among boys in college. He is going to be facing the great pressure schemes of the NFL defense. It's going to be a bit of a nerve-wracking experience. And then we have Chris Olave, a player we love. Whenever he gets 6 targets in a game, he's money for 80 yards. But poor Chris Olave, many concussions issues, a lot of questions there. And of course, can Tyler Shuck get him the ball effectively is a bigger question. Rashid Shaheed, another great potential player with great downfield speed, but can Tyler Shuck get him the ball? Will he have protection? Time to throw deep downfield. It's not a great spot for Rashid Shaheed coming off a major knee injury. Alvin Kamara, 30 years old already, shown declined efficiency, but he's been a volume king. But as you can see, putting all this together, defenses could just send a lot of pressure at the New Orleans Saints, and they are really going to have a hard time moving the football from week to week. This is a toxic offense. Be careful if you're drafting any components. Next, the Carolina Panthers. And I know a lot of people are all excited about Bryce Young because he had a good fantasy season in the second half of the year after he returned from his benching. And yes, he ran for some very good yardage, but the passing, it was frequently under 200 yards per game. Still struggling as a passer. And honestly, defenses saw film on him. And I don't think defenses, based on what they knew of Bryce Young, were all that concerned when they played him last year. But if teams are coming out and game planning for them, Bryce Young has a limited arm, might run for a little bit, but I don't see this offense sustaining drives. Chuba Hubbard was a great player last year, but he only had 4 yards per reception. And the problem is he could get supplanted in the passing game by either Rico Dowdle, who knows, maybe Trevor Etienne, maybe not. But that 4 yards per reception hurts. And if Hubbard loses receiving volume, and remember, as a runner, he was up a full yard per carry from the year prior, and it could have been one of those years. Ted McMillan, we love him, but do I trust Bryce Young, especially if he has to spread the ball around? No. Xavier Legette, not really. Adam Thielen, now that he has target competition, that's a problem. Avoiding the Carolina Panthers. If you're enjoying this breakdown, take a second to hit like and subscribe. It helps us keep the fantasy advice coming. If you want even more RotoWire's tools, rankings, and insights, we got a 15% discount just for our YouTube viewers. You go to rotowire.com, choose your subscription, and use the code YouTube15 at checkout. All right, the next offense I'm going to avoid. And look, we're going to have some good players here. This is going to be a little bit frustrating for you to listen. The Los Angeles Chargers. We'll start out. We love Ladd McConkey. Love. But remember this, Ladd McConkey came on in the second half of the season. J.K. Dobbins missed time with a knee injury. Running game wasn't great when he came back, and that's when McConkey piled it up. But remember, earlier in the season, only hit 52 yards a couple times, 6 targets a game. This team wants to run the football. And we love Omari and Hampton, but Najee Harris is there. We're probably going to have a split backfield. And the problem is they might cannibalize each other's touches. May not be a high-volume offense. Justin Herbert, great quarterback, but how often will he throw the ball? Before the running back injuries last year, Justin Herbert's pass attempts were significantly limited. So all that said, Chargers are a fun team. They have some really talented players. But at the end of the day, if this ends up being a team that's looking to shorten games, grind it, share the ball between running backs, this is going to be a problem for fantasy. And we're not going to have the upside we wanted from any players. You want some floor plays? Get some Chargers. Otherwise, maybe not so much. Finally, and this one's going to rub some people the wrong way too, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I just said it. Liam Cohen comes to town, and everybody is thrilled that Liam Cohen's there because, look, he made Baker Mayfield. He made the Buccaneers. Oh, wait a minute. Baker Mayfield, a lot of stories about him. He had some situations. Baker Mayfield has had good seasons, not 41 touchdowns, but that was a great offensive line. Mike Evans for half a season, Chris Godwin. This team, the running game, this was a healthy offense across the board. Now in Jacksonville, do you really trust Trevor Lawrence? 25 touchdowns is high watermark. You could blame coaching. You can. Trevor Lawrence has been around a few years now, and Trevor Lawrence has not shown us any consistency. Poor decision maker. Does that get cleaned up by a new coach? Maybe. I'm not buying. Travis Etienne, maybe he had a hamstring injury that went way, way further than back when he was back on the field. But he wasn't breaking tackles. He wasn't getting yards after contact. And Brian Thomas, what a great finish of the season. It was all with Mac Jones. Mac Jones just said, you know what? I'm airing it out. Let the young man make plays. And he did. With Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas was nowhere near that level of player. When Trevor Lawrence sees something he doesn't like, he checks off it. Do I have confidence he'll get the ball the way Mac Jones did? And Mac Jones is not a great quarterback. You know that. He's a backup. But he did what he had to do to get Brian Thomas going. I don't believe that Trevor Lawrence is going to make that happen. And then Travis Hunter, he'll be a great player, but he still moves like a corner. He can get away with that against college players. I think it's going to take him a little time to adapt. So all this love on the Jaguars, yeah, not so much. I'm out.